are waiting for the power company to come and shut the power down. The problem is those wires are live and there's gasoline leaking on it. My goodness. Okay, so this is the insanity at the infusion center. We're all outside and I'm gonna show you why. So this is what's happening right now. We all just got brought outside. This sweet couple right here, she accidentally hit the gas instead of the brakes, ran over the electrical box and ran into the building. And now there's gas leaking from their car, live wires. My husband Gary, right there, had to get that sweet gentleman out of the car. He was stuck. He moved everybody else's cars, so now we're all outside of the building. Thankfully, they got here fast because there's gas leaking out of their car on the live wires. So, this is infusion time. They have us moving our cars even further back. But thankfully they got here very quickly. Fire department suiting up and they are dealing with this now. So they're having us go to the other side. Okay. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to shut power to the building right now.
Yeah, that's what I told Mr. Long. I said, we're not doing clinic today.
Yeah. How many haven't showed up yet today?
You alright, sir? You didn't get her getting pulled out?
Are you okay?
Yeah, no.
Okay. So at one point while people were trying to get in to get infusions, and we were letting them know what happened, there was a gentleman from across the street, no joke, he was at the dentist's office, middle of his root canal, and the power went out. So their power stayed out on the other side of the street, but came back on in our building, and he could not get his root canal finished. So we are waiting for the power company to come and shut the power down. The problem is those wires are live and there's gasoline leaking on it. So, and as you all know, we just had a hurricane 2 days ago. So power companies are few right now to get out here because they're all in, you know, really bad areas. So we are stuck here today until this at least gets shut down. They make it safe again because I was halfway through my infusion and I can't leave until I get flushed and my line gets cleaned. So, you know, oh man, this has been a wild week. I mean, wild. Now, thankfully, we had the excursion, so I had, obviously, you know, our stuff packed up for travel in here, so I had 2 chairs in the back. I'm gonna show you just the sweetest couple. So we pulled those out and got them sat down. Her, you know, knee is hurting, and paramedics just checked her out, and she's not wanting to go to the hospital. So right now I know they're trying to get a hold of somebody to get a ride. Obviously, you know, we would give them a ride, but we only can seat 2 in here because it's built out. So please be praying for them, you know, not just them, but about half of the people haven't made it in for infusions yet today. And, you know, obviously there's nothing we can do about it. We're not sure if tomorrow probability of it being closed. So missing antibiotics like this when all of us are dealing with serious sicknesses is it's pretty rough and it's scary, especially for, you know, I'm the only one really here that's this age. Everybody else is in probably their 70s and 80s, so they're just really shooken up. Just be praying for them, please.
I'm thinking he's either going to the leg room box or most of it.
Oh, he's going to the one, I think that,
Right next to
yep,
on the other side.
power company is here. Which, man, they're troopers because they're all trying to restore power from the hurricane and they got them there pretty quick. It's only been about maybe 45 minutes, an hour. So thankfully they're here. Fire department can't do anything with the gas and the compromised lines that are smoking until power is off. So they're here now doing the assessment and they're going to get it shut off. So this is how far they've moved all of us back, just in case something blows. Is there more trucks coming? Oh, what is that? Oh no, they're just lawn guys. Okay, so after about 2.5 hours, we were finally able to leave. So I could not leave. I still don't have any of the wrap that I'm supposed to have on the midline because everything was in the building. So thankfully, about 2.5 hours after the whole thing started, the fire chief came over to talk to all of us, make sure everybody was doing okay, if we need anything, and my RN, Colleen, was like, hey, is there any way that you guys have a flush on your truck? Because this is supposed to get flushed after I have the antibiotics. Now, I didn't get all of the antibiotics because it just was not sucking everything down, but something is better than nothing. But thankfully, he had a flush on the truck. So she was able to get me flushed. I at least still had, you know, the netting, so that is at least keeping it in place. Not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. They still had not gotten the power off by the time we left, and so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm pretty sure that the linemen, there ended up being 3 different lineman trucks that came out. I'm pretty sure all of them were from out of state that were just down here helping with Hurricane Helene. So they still had not gotten it off. It was still live wires. The fuel was still spilling over it. It just was the absolute craziest thing ever. And, you know, the 2 but God moments, I have to tell you this because I just get blown away all the time. You know, it's something that can seem so bad, and yet God has a different purpose and a plan. So this morning, just tired. I mean, I'll, you know, week 6, I am exhausted. I am tired, and getting up every morning and going through all of this every single time is so hard physically to do, and, you know, mentally. And this morning I was just dragging, and I was sitting there drinking my coffee and just taking my time. And we were like 15 minutes, you know, later than when we typically leave, and Gary's like, honey, you know, we should probably get going. Like, we should really get going. And I'm just like, okay, fine, you know, let's just go get it over with. If we would have been, you know, even 10 minutes later, we wouldn't have been there. 15 minutes later. And Colleen, my RN, just kept saying she was so thankful we were there. She was so thankful Gary was there because, you know, I'm the youngest there. Predominantly, you know, it's like I am surrounded by grandparents. They're all so stinking sweet, but they're all, you know, mostly late 70s into their 80s. Nobody would have been able to get that gentleman out of the car. And Gary was able to get him from the passenger side out through the car and outside before the fire department got there. The fact that that power box was in the way, if it wasn't, she would have gone right through the building, and I was sitting right there on the other side. Just blows my mind. You know, the fact that it did not explode while Gary was walking through. The fact that he did not get shocked, the fact that I didn't get shocked, Colleen didn't get shocked, the older couple didn't get shocked. Like, there's just so many insane parts to what happened today. And it was funny, I was talking, you know, to one of my best friends, and she's like, I swear, you cannot make this stuff up. She's always just like, this is the life of Gary and Becky. And it's true, I feel like some days, you know, you just have to almost laugh at stuff because otherwise it's so overwhelming. It can really, there's a big beetle flying by my head. Otherwise there's, you know, some days where it can be so overwhelming, like it's just going to crush you, and we would have lost our faith by now. And yet we're still standing with everything that has happened and everything that's going on. I mean, one of these days, you know, I'll share the story of the last 5 years, because, you know, for those of you who watched the first video, and I'll link that in the description below, my first vlog that was outside of what I typically do for the travel videos when I was in the hospital, you know, I mentioned 5 years, and I'm not even joking. Like, it's just been one insane thing after another. And so I'm not sure. I don't really have an end to the story yet. We'll find out tomorrow if we get a call and infusion is canceled. I'm supposed to have my labs drawn. They get drawn every Monday to track everything, to see how my body is handling the treatment, and make sure that the antibiotics are working. You know, those of you who've watched the other videos know my white blood cell count is trending back up, so that's always a pretty scary sign when you're dealing with sepsis and MRSA. You know, that those white blood cells, it's a pattern, and they're going up instead of either staying even, or, you know, even the up and down would be better than the tracking up. So we'll have to see about that tomorrow, because it's all up in the air. We're not quite sure, and Gary's, you know, obviously worried about that too, and me missing, you know, an infusion, and missing an appointment with my infectious disease doctor, and not getting my labs, you know, drawn at the 7-day mark, because obviously we're both, you know, nervous with the white blood cells and what they've been doing. So, oh, not the vlog I was expecting to do today, but y'all make sure you subscribe if you want to stay on this crazy adventure called life, you know. We definitely have crazy stuff happening to us. But until tomorrow, guys, get outside and make some memories, because, yeah, we never know when our day's up.